Thank you for joining us here again at Mathematics Resource Center, and today we're looking at dividing decimals. So our learning objectives are, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to 1. Accurately divide a decimal number by a whole number. 2. Accurately divide a whole number by a decimal number. 3. Accurately divide a decimal number by a decimal. And 4. Solve problems involving division of a decimal. Alright, so let's go to the questions. So our first question, the instruction says, work out the following. And the first one is 4.6 divided by 2. Go ahead and use fraction method. So I'm going to write down 4.6 fraction bar 2. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify by cancelling. So I'm dividing the numerator and denominator. Dividing numerator and denominator by the number 2. So 2 divided into 2 is 1. 2 divided into 4 is 2. I come to my decimal points as you're seeing here. I'm just going to bring it here, right? So that's decimal point. And then it's 2 divided into 6, which is 3. And that leaves us with 2.3. Now go ahead and pause the video, work on number 2 question, and then come back to the video. I'll be doing a time down regardless. Some of you will be able to do it mentally, while others might just need to write it down to do it. So let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to go through the solution. So the first thing that we have here is 9.6. So that is going to be my numerator, the number on top. And then I'm going to draw my fraction bar. And it says divide by 3. So I'm going to write 3 as my denominator. Good. So now I'm going to go ahead and simplify, right? And I'm going to use 3 to divide into the terms. 3. So 3 into 3 is going to give me 1. 3 into 9 is going to give me 3. I have here my decimal point, so it's going to come right here. Good. And then I'm going to divide 3 into 6, which gives me 2. So my answer is therefore 3.2. Alright, good. Continuing. Alright, so here we have work out the following. Same procedure. And it is 6 point, for the number 3, it's 6.4 divided by 6. So I'm going to go ahead with the same fraction method. And I'm going to have 6.4 divide by our number here, which is 6. Good. I can do a better job with that 6. Right. Alright, good. So now I'm going to divide each term by 6. I'm going to divide here by 6 and divide through by 6. Alright. So 6 into 6 is 1. 6 into 6 at the top here is 1. I am crossing over, so I need to put my decimal point, right? And then 6 into 4, I cannot divide 6 into 4, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is to add a 0 to this 40 that I have. This 4 that I have, it's now 40. So now I'm going to say 6 into 40, and that's 6. Remainder 4, right? And I go ahead again and I add another 0, right? And I say 6 into 40 again is 6. Remainder 4, and I add another 0. And I realize that I'm getting um the same remainder each time. So this is going to be recurring decimal. So I'm going to go ahead again and say 6 into 40, right? And that is going to give me 6, right? And I can stop there because it's recurring decimal, right? And I can put those 3 little dots to say that it's recurring decimal. Alright, so my answer is 1.6666, or you could stop it at 1.66. Right? Alright, let's go to number 4, counting down in 5. Remember, you can pause the video, work it out, and then come back to the video, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so for this question, we're going to go ahead and write down our 9.6, right? So 9.6, and we're going to divide by 8. So we divide it by 8. Good. So now I'm going to go ahead and say 8 into 8, and that is going to give me 1. And then I'm going to divide 8 into the 9.6. Alright. So I go ahead and I have 8 into 8, 1. 8 divided into 9 is going to give me 1, right? But I have a remainder of 1, alright? And the remainder of 1 is going to go here. In putting the remainder of 1 here, right, I cross over the decimal point here to get it here. So I need to put my decimal point here, right? So I have put down my 1 here. I cross over the decimal point to carry the 1 to the next number, which is 6. I need to put my decimal point here. Alright, so my decimal point goes there. Good. And then I'm going to go ahead and say 8 into 16. So this is now 16, not just 6, because I bring over a set of 10, add it to this, which makes it 16. So 8 into 16, which gives me 2. So now my answer is 1.2. Good job. I hope you got that correct. Great. Let's continue. Okay, so we're at number 5, and it says 0.657 divided by 9. So to go ahead and write down our first number, which is 0.657. And it's divided by 9. Alright? And we're going to go ahead and say 9 into 9, which is 1. Right? 9 into 0. 9 into 0 is 0, because we can't take a set of 9 out of 0. So that's just 0. We're crossing over the decimal point, so it needs to come back here. Then we're going to say 9 into 6. Can I take a set of 9 out of 6? No. So that's just 0, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and say 9 into 65 now. So since I didn't get any 9 out of 6, let's see if I can get a 9 out of 6 and 5, right? Which is 65. So 9 into 65, that goes 7 times, because 7 nines is 63. So that goes 7 times, right? Do we have any remainder? 7 9 is 63. Then we have a remainder of 2. Good. So that remainder of 2, we're going to bring it to the 7 here. So it goes with the 7. So we carry over 2 tenths. And now we have here 27. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and say 9 into 27. And that is going to give us 3. So right across, we divide each term or each number 0, the 6, which could be divided, and then we turn to the 65, and then we go to the 27, everyone by 9. Alright, so our answer is 0.073. Good job. Alright, let's go with number 6. Remember, you can pause the video and come back to this to look at the solution. Work your own question, work it out on your own, right? And then come back. So go ahead and do that. And I'm counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so the first number, as always, is going to be your numerator. So that is 0, 0.238. And what are we going to divide by? 7. All right, good. Divide by 7. And we're going to go ahead and divide each term by 7, or each number by 7. All right, so 7 into 7, that's 1. We're going to divide 7 into 0, which is just going to give me 0, right? And I'm crossing over to the next number, which is 2. I passed the decimal point here, so I just need to indicate it right here, put it back, right? So there goes my decimal point, right? And then I cross over to the 2, and I say 7 into 2. Can I get a set of 7 out of 2? Can I take 7 things out of 2? No. So that is just 0. Now I'm going to go with 23 then. So 7 into 23 goes 3 times, because 3 sevens is 21. So 7 to 23 goes 3 times. And remainder, how many remainder? 2. Good. Alright. And now I'm going to go ahead and say 7 into 28. And 7 into 28 goes 4 times. Alright. And my answer is 0.034. Well done. Give yourself a clap for doing that. Alright, good. Let's continue. So now we are dividing whole number by decimal, and here's when a little magic comes into play, right? I wonder what Miss Hunter is saying about magic now, right? Alright, so let's put that into play. So when we're dividing by decimal numbers, right? Like in this case, our divisor here is a decimal. Our divisor here is a decimal, right? When the divisor is a decimal, the number that comes after the division sign is a decimal. We got to do an additional step. We must perform an operation on that first before dividing. Alright, so what we'll do is always rewrite the divisor as a whole number. Alright, so what we're going to do to, let me change the ink, to turn 0.3, as you're seeing it here, as to a whole number, we're going to multiply by a power of 10. Since it's one digit after the decimal point, then we multiply by 10. If it was two digit, we multiply by 100. If it was three digit, we multiply by 1,000. So since it's one digit after the decimal point, we're going to go ahead and multiply by 10. And if I'm multiplying 0.3 by 10, I need to also multiply 12 by 10. So now I'm going to get a new numbers to work with. And the first one is 12 times 10, which is 120. So it's divide. And then the second one is going to be 0.3 times 10, which is just 3. Good. Now that we have our numbers, our divisor, right, as a whole number, and we have both our terms ready to go, we can just move right into dividing. So it's 120 divide by 3. Good. So we're dividing by 3. So 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 12 is 4. And 3 to 0 is 0, which gives us 40. Alright? Good job. Alright, let's continue. Let's see if I can get that extra line. Good job. Alright, so let's continue. Go ahead and do number 8. Alright, so remember to rewrite your divisor as a whole number. Very, very, very important. Your divisor must always be written as a whole number before you can divide. Alright? So counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and multiply by, I'm listening, multiply by 10 right here, and multiply our 4 here by 10. Why am I multiplying by 10? Because it's one digit that we have after the decimal point. So it's 10. If it was two digits, like 0.28, then I would have multiplied by 100. Alright, see that? Alright, so multiply by 10. So 4 times 10 gives us 40. Divide by 0.5 times 10 give us 5. Now we can easily say 40 divided by 5 is just 8. Good? Good job. Alright, so let's continue. So our concern is the divisor. Always the divisor. It doesn't matter what's happening with the dividend. Our concern is the divisor, and we're always going to make sure our divisor is a whole number. So now that my first number is 4.2 divided by 0.3, this 0.3 is a concern. I need to make this a whole number. How do I do that? Okay, multiply by a power of 10. Which one? I'm going to use 10 because it only have one digit after the decimal point. So I go ahead and I say multiply by 10. But if I multiply here by 10, I need to multiply here by 10 also. Get that part? So if you multiply here by 100, you're going to multiply the dividend by 100 as well. So I'm going to multiply 4.29 by 10. Now let's go with 4.29 times 10. What's that answer? That's 42.9. And 0.3 times 10, and that gives us 3. So that is going to be divide by 3. Now that I have my divisor, as a whole number, I can go ahead and use my fraction method. So it's 42.9 divided by 3. Good. And I'm going to cancel 3 into 3 is 1, 3 into 4 goes 1 time, remainder 1, the 1 goes with the 2, that now becomes 12 because I just added a set of 10 to the 2. So 3 into 12 goes 4 times. I am crossing over the decimal point to the 9, so I need to put my decimal point right here, right? Alright, and now I say 3 into 9 goes 3 times. My answer is 14.3. Now go ahead and complete your question 10. Alright, remember that your divisor is really important. It must be written as a whole number. Alright, so we're counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so let's go. So it is 0.7, one digit after the decimal point. So I'm going to multiply by 10. And if I multiply here by 10, 0.7 by 10, I need to multiply 0.784 by 10 as well. Good job. So now 0.784 by 10, that is 7.84, and I have divide, and 0.7 by 10, that is 7. Now I go ahead and write it as a fraction, 7.84, and we're going to divide by 7, divide by 7. Alright, so now I go ahead and I divide each term by 7. So it's going to be 7 into 7, 7 into 7, 7 to 8, and it's not going to be 14, but it's not going to be 4, but 14 when we reach over there. Alright, so 7 into 7 is 1, 7 into 7, 1. We're crossing over the decimal point, so we need to bring our decimal point up. So it's 1.78, which is 1. Remainder 1. We carry that set of 10 over. So now this is 14, and 7 into 14 goes 2 times. So now my answer is 1.12. Alright, continuing. So now we're at number 11. Work out the following. So same decimal being divided by decimal, but this time what do you notice? In our divisor, it's 2 digits after the decimal point, 2 digits. So previously we had 1 digit after the decimal point here and here, and we multiply by 10. If it's 2 digits, what are we going to multiply by this time? Am I listening? Oh, 100. Well done. So we're going to go ahead and multiply here by 100. And if I multiply 0.06 by 100, I need to also multiply 1.278 by 100. So multiply by 100. Alright, good. So now that I multiply 1.278 by 100, that now becomes 127.8 divide by 6. Alright, so let's just write it as a fraction. 127.8 divided by 6. And we're going to use 6 to divide 6 here, and each and the term up here. Alright, so 6 into 6, 1. 6 into 1 here. We can't divide 6 into 1, so that would be 0. But because it's a whole number, right, putting 0 at the front would not affect it, would not change its value. So we're not going to put a 0 there. So 1 into 1 would be 0. So let's go. 1 into 12 is 2. Oh, not 1 into 12. Let's backtrack a bit. So let's backtrack a bit. Okay. So 6 into 6 is 1. 6 into 1 can't. That would be 0. So we're going to go ahead and say 6 into 12, and that's 2. Alright? And we're going to continue and say 6 into 7, and that will give us 1. Remainder 1, and we're going to take that remainder 1 and put it with the 8 here. So we're carrying that set of 10 over to the 8. So now we have 18 here. But you realize that after leaving the 7, we crossed over this decimal point. So we need to bring it up, right? So it's the bridge between the whole number and the decimal section, alright? Or the fraction section, alright? So it's our point there, and then 6 into 18, which gives us 3. Alright, good. So our answer is 21.3. Go ahead and work out number 12. Alright, go ahead and work out number 12 in 5, 4, 3. Remember the important points. 2 and 1. So now we have 0.047 divided by 0.07, and we realize that the divisor is a decimal, so we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 100 because there's 2 digits after the decimal point. So we go ahead and we multiply it by 100, right? And we're also going to multiply the 0.047 here by 100. Anything I multiply my divisor by, I multiply my dividend by it, right? So now this will give me 4.76 divided by 7. Working that out, 4.76 divided by 7. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide 7 to 7. That's 1. 7 to 4. I cannot take 7 things out of 4, so that's 0, right? I'm going to carry that 4 with the 7 there, and I'm going to bring my decimal points here. So now we have 7 to 47, which is 6, remainder 5, and then we go with 7 to 56, which is 8. Good. So now our answer is 0.68. Continuing. Alright, so here we have the classwork. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds to complete. Remember, you can pause the video, work out the question, and then come back. Alright, so go ahead. Alright, welcome back. We're going to go with the solution in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first one is 30. The second one is 4. And the third one is 1400. Alright, continuing. So now we go to problem solving, and the first question is A sweet costs 0. Correction. A sweet costs 4 pence. How much sweet can I buy for 20 pounds? Alright? So a sweet costs 4 pence. How much sweet can I buy for 20 pounds? So this is telling me that I'm dividing 20, right, by 0.04. Alright? Alright, good. And if I'm dividing a whole number by a decimal, or it doesn't matter if it's a decimal by a decimal, well, as long as my divisor is a decimal, I need to turn that into a whole number. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 100 since it's 2 digits after the decimal point. 1, 2, right? And I'm also multiplying here by 100. Now I have 20 times 100, which is 2000, right? Divide by 4. And I just go ahead and I can do it in the fraction form. 2000 divided by 4. So 4 into 4 is 1. 4 into 2 we can't. So we say 4 into 20. And that's 5. 4 into 0 is 0. And those zeros. So my answer would just be 500. Good. Find the missing number. So here we're asked to find the missing number, and it is 0.4 times a number that we don't know, which gives us 20.8. So what we're going to do is to divide 20.8 here by 0.4. Alright, so first one is 20.8 divided by 0.4. Alright, and I'm just going to write in the answer for that. So I'm giving you 15 seconds to work that out. Remember, you can pause the video and then write in your answer. 3, 2, 1. So that's 52. And then the same procedure here. 0.7 times the number give us 45. So we're going to reverse it, which is to divide this 45 by 0.7. Alright, so go ahead. 45 divide by 0.7 equals 15 seconds. And for this one, right, you might end up with a lot of you keep going on and on and on and on and on. You realize that you're not getting to a stop, right? So what I want you to do is to write down the first two digits after the decimal point and round it off. Alright, you might not know about rounding, you might. Alright, so for us the answer is 64.29. Alright, I will go through rounding and such in another video if you're not so sure what rounding is about, rounding off a number. Alright, so let's continue. Alright, so we're at the diagnostic question, and I'm giving you 15 seconds to work out the question, and then I'm going to go just circle the answer. Alright, so the first one is 1.28 divided by 4, and we're going to mark our work in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this you're supposed to be quick. The answer is 0.32. Alright, let's go with this one. So it's 0.3 divided by 2, 0.3 divided by 2, and we're going to show the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The answer is 0.15. Alright, and the last one is 70.04 divided by 0.1. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The answer is C, 700.4. Alright, well done to you all. So here we come to our homework section, right? And remember to click in the link below to view the homework sheet uh, on our Facebook page and to also view the solution to the homework question. Once again, happy to have you here with us at Mathematics Resource Center for another lesson. And today's lesson was on dividing decimal. And I hope you learned something. Go ahead and comment below your queries, your concern, anything, right? And tell us how the video was for you. Alright, until next time, bye bye.